another episode of the Cheap Champ Podcast. It is I, your host, Malcolm Hall, and I am here with another good comedian friend of mine. Me and this guy have been in the trenches, man. We have come from the bottom, and we are in the middle on our way to the top, because we still ain't at the bottom. But we're in the middle now. Now we're in the middle. Please show some love to my good friend, Mr. Keenan Baker.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Man, thank you. So,
thank
y'all, man. So, this is the comedy show turned podcast. This is how shit goes when this is being resourceful. So when your comedy show don't work out, you bring all your stuff, you turn into a podcast,
and you pay for the space.
I'm cheap, not broke. I'm getting the most out of my money. You already know that.
You get some content regardless.
You get some content regardless. So man, we were just talking right before the show, man, about producing shows and how hard this is. Mm-hmm. This is like, as you see, nobody came. We were just talking about like getting fans to come out, because people come out fans.
Yeah.
You might get some people off the street in the grocery store, but getting real people to come out, buy a ticket and want to come see you, and buy it early, not the night of. Mm-hmm. How does that work? Because you have your own show. You have Bonfire Stories.
Yeah, Bonfire Stories. It's tough, man. Like, even with my fan base grew a lot. In the past month and a half, I've grown 30 more thousand followers, which is like, it's crazy. But still, when I'm pushing my flyer out, it's getting to like 50 people.
Nice.
Because Instagram is terrible.
Instagram, and it does what it wants to do.
It does what it's like. Oh, you trying to get people to leave our site to go click on the link? We ain't having that. So it's difficult, bro. It's difficult to have, like, people talk about like just being funny, but like funny is always, they tell you like funny is like third or fourth on the list.
Man.
And so getting a fan base. I mean, I'm still trying to figure that out. Like about getting an actual fan base where people like love you, like. People that I hang out with, that they have a fan base and they're loved.
Right.
I'm trying to figure that out still. I don't know what to do.
I mean, I've been told to be more personable. Mm-hmm.
For sure.
My mom was the first person to bring it to my attention.
Yeah.
Because I saw her watching all these other people. I said, "What do you like about them?" I said, they're personable. She said, "You're not personable. You don't talk to people. You just go be funny and leave. But you don't give me anything else." Other people talk to you like they talk straight to you.
Well, not just that. It's like sometimes, I guess you look at even the guys that are even getting popping now, even online, something about them is super likable too. Mm-hmm. And even some of their material is just like, is relatable in that sense. So it's like, we were talking to a buddy of mine, he was just like, he's been on some stuff, and he's just like, I'm just trying to figure out from a stand-up perspective, how do I do things? I feel like I'm not locked in the fan base. And we're just like, bro, you got a whole family that nobody knows about. You operate like you're a single nigga. And you have a child, you have a wife, nobody's ever seen any of them. Why aren't you, that's the gold. The gold is your family. You look at the guys that pop kind of like that, they kind of talked about their family, you know what I'm saying? Unless they had the machine behind them pushing them.
Right.
They pop because they talk about something that's personal.
Right, and I just started getting to the personal material, like talking about me, this is what I'm going through and all, my anomalies and stuff like that, because it took some time, because you want to be funny. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, okay, now I need to be original. And that takes time, because now you got to be comfortable with who you are and tell these people, because, sometimes you see what's working, what other comedians are talking about. Mm-hmm. Like the Kevin Hart, I don't have kids. Right. A lot of my favorite comedians, they have children. Mm-hmm. I don't have that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not at the age group where I can talk about what I talked about at 20. So, you just got to be you now, because
I would say even with you, we had this discussion, like we talked out in front of Samantha's spot before for like, I feel like an hour before about this. I think like with you, what is relatable about you is the cheap, not broke. Is that there's a lot of people out there that want to be able to maneuver that way. Like you were talking to Marlena about like, cheap is value. She was saying, no, cheap is material. I think you're both right. You know what I'm saying? Some people do, when they hear cheap, it's like, oh, that's easy. That's gonna rip. I don't want that. That's cheap.
Right.
So I think and you kind of starting to deliver that message that way, and the way that you deliver, because I think you're just naturally funny on top of that, is going to start to expand for you, because a lot of people are like that. Like I would rather be like, how can I save my money? When I see videos go viral of the girls saying like, this is how you get cheap flights on Southwest, and you put this in, her video does like 5 million. You have that type of same, either content or like at least, how people can learn from that, or like, save money in that same space.
Right, because I do those videos. I do the videos where I'm out, but it's more so making it my voice now. You know, like me being on stage, me being in videos, I'm not authentically me. Because no, you got first off, you only got so much time. So I feel like I need to give you some information. I'm trying to be funny. So sometimes I find it hard to just be funny and give you the information. So it's like I need to find a sweet spot of just being myself and telling you the shit. Because I'm going to Denver for $70 in like 3 weeks. From here, but that's cheap, not broke. But of course, you know, when I want to talk about this and tell you these videos, I mean, talk about that shit, I'm not always authentic. Sometimes I'm too YouTube-like and stuff like that.
I understand, yeah.
So, you know, that's where I'm trying to go with it, and that's why I'm trying to like vlog and talk about more about my comedy journey. So like I'm going out to the shows, like I'm gonna talk about Nobody Showed Up Tonight, and put that on YouTube. So people are like, oh shit, man, people ain't coming to the show. Like it's real. This is where I'm at. I mean, I live in Hollywood, and a lot of people want to live vicariously through me. So I'm trying to be more personable, and like you said, like just talk about that stuff because it's real. I really do feel like that, and I'm an accountant. Nobody knows that. Like my girlfriend was telling me, why don't you say that? That gives you validation.
It does.
And
so when you do the whole cheap not broke on stage and you say you're an accountant, like now because now especially when a black guy goes, I'm cheap. I'm not. They're like, oh, you just a cheap nigga. It's like when you go, no, I'm an accountant. So now you're established. You have a nice job. You probably do actually have some money. You're just like, I'm not spending this shit.
Right.
And so that, like she said, that does give you value. That does give you respect in that lane. So I agree. Definitely start saying that statement.
And I never thought about that. Because like, you have money. You're not just some cheap guy. People are like, well, yeah, that's true.
I could buy that, but why the fuck would I buy that?
Because I travel all the time. I mean, I go somewhere once a month. You're not broke doing that.
First of all, I didn't know that. Second of all, I mean, honestly, you should be posting about that. And like, I'm able to travel once a month because I'm cheap, not broke. People like you, it sounds like you travel like an Instagram bitch. That's what it sounds like. You travel more than an Instagram shit. I'm like, how do you do this? Like,
dude, I mean, I have like flight trackers, so I'm always getting alerts about flights and shit like that. And I work from home.
So that's big. I think a lot of us, like, you know, my wife would be like, oh, we need to talk to that nigga more. Because she wants to travel every single month too. And I'm just like, I don't get the money for that. But like in that put that out there, like this is how you can travel once a month. That's a great video. And if you be like this, if you just put this on like this from a flight tracker perspective, and if you want to just, and it might not be your ideal vacation, but you be like, all right, put this in there. Like you said, I can go to Denver here, then I can go to Mexico here, then I can go to the Bay Area here, and it's just like there might be like $80 trips, and it's just like there's stuff to do out there.
There are plenty because I mean, dude, you go to San Fran. I do that like a day trip all the time. Fly at like 6 in the morning, come back. You don't have to pay for a hotel. Vegas, same thing. Go to Vegas, do an all-nighter, come back in the morning, no hotel. So there's cities like in LA, you can go do the day trip and come back and not pay for shit. So, you know, but I don't think I just do it.
Nah, you gotta, that's what the material is. I think that's where it is. I think that's where your content lies. And then you can still make it funny. And then I was gonna suggest, you don't have to, of course, but I was gonna suggest about like, I mean, since we're in Hollywood, like doing a hit in the streets type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, I know that's kind of tougher because if you're not as personable, but like
I'm trying to do that. I suck at that.
What, like hitting the streets and kind of interviewing?
Yeah,
it's tough.
It is tough.
It's tough.
But I mean, it's something I'll work at and get good at it.
You
know, it's not like, well, it's tough. Like, well, shit, we'll have to figure it out. Just like the shows, got to keep producing shows, figure it out. So I might give it a shot. I've been out there a few times. I kind of clam up.
And it's tough. It's like people are going to say no a lot of times, and it's probably going to take you a while to get all the content you need for an episode. But once you start doing it and getting comfortable and start not caring about the no's, with the stuff that you have and your knowledge, in a sense, it's going to like, one, it's going to help out those people, and two, it's going to help out people that are watching it, and they get a laugh out of it too.
Yeah, facts. That is facts, man.
Yeah.
But you're talking about your show. You do something different at your Bonfire show. What do you do different at your show? So,
I mean, for Bonfire Stories, storytelling's not unique at this particular point. We didn't make up storytelling. But like, you know, we try to add the element of like the audience gets to ask you questions after your story. So that's what we kind of added the element to it, and you know that might even been done before too. I'm not saying that hasn't been done either, but like I feel like it's rare, at least out here, that we see that. So it encourages the audience to probably want to come and ask comedians questions. And then we do like we talk about giveaway. We do like a free like a raffle. But when you do the raffle, you have to like sign the email list so we get the email, because that's everybody I talk to about like getting people asses in seats. They say the same thing as the email list. Your email list is your God in that sense. It's your king. That's how much runs your show. And you know that helped us out. Like we got like a lot of emails because of that. Because people come through, people want free shit. You know, even if they don't know what it is. Like, give me, if it's a free hoodie, especially, like, yo, let me get a free hoodie.
Man, I got a ton of free shit. I'm willing to give away free shit.
Yeah.
I got like shorts, whatever, I'll give it away because I know it gets sales. I mean, you have to do the marketing to get the free shit.
Right.
You get people to come out, you have to give away free stuff. Then people come. But it's interesting that because somebody else said the same thing. Like you gotta add a different dynamic to the show. Like me, I would be more interested in like a game show because I want to do like a hosting type thing. I always want to do that. But the producing, the cameras, a lot of work.
Yeah.
But as far as a comedy show, I'm thinking I might do a game show because I'll give away 10 shirts a show because the shirts are cheap.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost me a lot, but over time, the sales will come. Because if I give you one shirt and you one shirt, everybody in here, but 5 people buy them, I won.
You won. And I think that's a good element. It's like I've seen other comedy shows in LA because like there's so many regular shows and we're all regular. We're good at doing stand up. That's easy at this point, especially for us doing it 10 years plus at this particular point. But like doing a game show, I think I saw Keith Johnson. It does kind of like a court kind of comedy show, and it's just like I remember I think his name was Greg. He used to do like a dope ass Twitter show where he would go down like your Twitter, your social media, and they'll find old shit and have you explain the shit after your set. It's just like that stuff is dope, and those shows that like people come to. They get to have a good time watching it. It's just like, and then if they want to go watch stand-up, what they do, they'll go, motherfucker, to the Improv, to the store, to wherever else. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
And then the money, you got to spend the money on the shows.
Yeah, so it's like, my guy Ice, who's also the other host of the Bonfire Stories, he's in a way financial better spot than I am, like way better. Like it's not even close. So luckily on that end too, he helps, like since he's able to help out. And I put my financial weight also, but like there was times where I was just like, bro, like I'm like, I can't pull this. He's like, nigga, I make this, like we're good. I make this much money. Don't worry about that. I'll just take care of that. Right. And it's just like, so we were straight on that end, but like, beforehand, when I was like struggling really bad financially, I was just like, bro, we gotta just hit the streets with like the flyers or whatever the case may be to get asses in the seats. You know what I'm saying? So,
man, before we get out of here, man, where can they find your show?
We do our show on if you go to my Instagram or follow Bonfire Stories comedy on Instagram, just go there. We put the flyers up. Follow me, Keenan Baker, on Instagram on there. And what we do free tickets, and then that's what helps out too. We do free tickets, and then we do VIP tickets. And VIP tickets is you pay like $10, but you get a free glass of wine. And people love wine or drinking because our show is we got beer there too, but wine. Our show is more of that intimate wine space. So that's what we add that element to it, which kind of helps out. So it's like, all right, there's wine if you want to buy it too, but like if you buy that VIP, you get a free glass. Hey,
bro, before I go, man, you fucking killing on social media.
Oh, thank you, man.
Man, how do you keep that shit going? How do you do all the videos? How do you keep all the content? Like, how do you?
I just made a promise to myself, and having a wife that holds you accountable, like being like, nigga, you said you're gonna put a video every single day. You end up doing it. So it's like, I made a promise to myself to put out a video every single day, which is easy. It's hard, but it's easy. Because sometimes I just won't get a video. If it's not my video, if I find like a funny TikTok video, sometimes I just post that because I ain't got the content. I'll post Tony's videos and shit, like, just to put some content out there. But it's really just that, and I'm starting to kind of get in my rhythm, of stuff like, either finding a funny thing, like I'm doing the 90s videos now. So it's just nostalgia. It's like I'm going, people back in the day when they played open chess. The game when you kind of like sock your friend in the chest because their chest is open. Like, I didn't know that game was worldwide. And so when I did the video and it went viral, I was just like, I didn't know they were playing this shit in Africa and the UK and fucking everywhere like that.
Shit, that's abuse now.
Oh, it's we were abusive in the 90s.
Yeah.
But it was just like, it was regular.
Right.
So I just found that's the niche that actually made me blow up really recently. Before that, I was doing my my other stuff, and it was hidden every once in a while. But those videos have like kind of taken off.
So you got a theme.
Right now it's a theme. That's gonna probably run out once I run out of 90s stuff to do. I can do 2000s because I was an 80s baby, 90s kid, 2000s teenager, college kid. So I can go into all that shit. But so I still have all that material to go into if I need to.
Throw me your social media channels.
Keenan Baker, Keenan Baker on every single thing. Follow Bonfire Stories comedy on every single thing. So you can come to the show. Like I said, free tickets. It's March 25th actually this month. So come through. This is an all-woman lineup for a Women's History Month. They're gonna kill it. It's super, super dope. Come through and support, man. Appreciate it.